Video games are meant to be played, but are they meant to be beaten, completed, 100%ed? As one of our generation's great thinkers, I've mulled over this thought for many an hour. Why? Because I freaking love games. There's a sort of primordial guilt when you start a game and don't get to finish it. At least there is for me. It's like there's some loose ends in the back of my head that haven't been tied up yet. As time passes, there's an ever-increasing backlog of games, shows, movies, TV shows. I said shows already, but just general entertainment. And on top of that, my ever-shrinking free time due to work and other responsibilities, not a good combo. Today, I'm gonna lay out this line of thought, this train of thought, this line of thinking. Not some overcomplicated thought loop, but as a therapy session of sorts. To lay this beast of rest in this gourd of mine. Whoop. When I was younger, I'd play whatever games that were given to me, no matter the quality. I'm sure many people have. When you're starving, you eat what you can get. Shrek 2 on GBA, I 100%ed that shit. Multiple times even. I couldn't even muster the focus to play that game for even 5 minutes with my adult body and mind. I played movie game stinkers to completion, not from a place of love, but of desperation. When the medium of video games was so new to me, every moment was fun or engaging. When you play Over the Hedge on PS2 at your friend's house, it was the first of its kind that you ever played, and even mediocrity through that lens looked like gold. I would be at home confined to my PS1 and Game Boy, wishing I could play that not too special game. If you lived in a universe where the games you played were all mediocre, you'd still think they were the GOATs just because of the comparison of it. The universe where the most reality-bending, ball-draining games existed, these Mario 64s, these Half-Lives, would be as good as Clive Barker's Jericho due to the comparison of it. As I grew, I played more and more games. Experiences were injected into my gray matter and patterns began to form. Game genres, gameplay mechanics, story tropes, and more became familiar to me. Games were still very exciting to me, but I'd seen a lot of what the medium had to offer, at least from the scope of a mostly Nintendo game enthusiast, a custom robo connoisseur, if you will. Hello? 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 This was until I got my Xbox 360 and a whole new era of gaming opened up for me. Now, a mix of online gaming and playing more adult games really opened it up for me. Now, not adult like Meat and Fuck Kingdom, but adult like killing people, the more wholesome form of adult. When I got an Xbox 360, it was on its way out, so GameStop and pawn shops were filled with cheap games. It really was quantity over quality, or at least completing games, other than something like Halo 3 or Minecraft. New experiences out the prolapse. Now, there were a few games I tried to 100% this time, but for the most part, if it was more than just completing the game and doing a few Easter eggs, they ended up unfinished. Fuck. Scared the shit out of me. After this era, I would go free reign on the entirety of games. Now, I had begun collecting and playing older games a while before this. Now, this era, I'd begin to play the GOATs, games I heard whispers of in YouTube videos and other ancient tomes. I felt that playing them wasn't enough, and beating them was necessary. It was part of my identity that I would play games, so if I didn't beat and finish them, then I was a fake fan, a phony. I'd play games to 100%, even when I didn't want to. I would turn it into a catalog of chores. I would force myself to finish games and even go further beyond that. I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time and loved the experience. This was until I took it upon myself of 100% in the game and taking out all the super bosses as some sort of self-imposed challenge. I grinded to level 99 by killing the same enemies over and over and over again. This was over half my playtime. By the time I went to go fight the final boss, I was done with the game for hours and hours before actually beating it. The grind was a waste of time. For most of the time during that, I would listen to YouTube videos or podcasts. This was a bad habit I picked up, multitasking while playing a game. This was a bad habit because I wouldn't be fully present in either or. This was a dopamine finger trap. I was treating games like it was a job. I lost the plot. It was time for a change, to break the bad habits of the past. I would jump from game to game, from just impulse, natural instinct, the polar opposite of what I did before. I would play games for like about a day and then move on. I mean, I'd play games more than before, but I just couldn't commit. This was fun for a while, but the joy of actually completing a game and checking it off in my mental checklist was dead. It was gone. Just spur of the moment playing something was fun, but it meant nothing could get done. A lot of the time, this just meant me playing the tutorial and maybe some of the early game. Like, I just pick up stuff and immediately just drop it. So this wasn't my solution either. Oof. This is when I, ironically, made a list of the games I wanted to complete, the games I started and wanted to finish. The gamer's equivalent to Schindler's List. There were a few rules this time though. One would be, I wouldn't be afraid of dropping games anymore. If I actually didn't want to finish a game, I just appreciate it for the fun times it gave me, if any. I would also try to focus on just the game. No stinky background noise. On double top of that, I wouldn't rush through a game. I'd stop and smell the roses, give it some breathing room, let it speak for itself. I want to take in the whole experience as it is. The music, the graphics, the gameplay, the everything. There's bugs under here. Games are meant to be played, and the way you ultimately play them is up to you. But the way you do play them can either make them like a job or a mindless activity. But what's the difference? What's the difference? We should find ways to really enjoy the things we enjoy. This may mean we gotta put something on a set schedule. Or the opposite, get rid of structure altogether. We gotta romanticize life a bit. This may mean lighting some incense, get the mood lighting on, pouring a glass of wine, and metaphorically make sweet, sloppy love to a game of your choosing. This niche thing might not even be a problem for you. And it's just my particular brand of autism shown. If you watched to this point in the video, and this is you, thanks babe. Experiment with life. Find what change works for you.